how's it going? So today on BK Sport, I can't believe we are damn well here, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. We are here at the AFL Finals. Woohoo! Wowee. Did anyone actually think we'd genuinely get to the finals at one point? You know, around that February, March, bloody April, schmozzle. Schmozzle? Damn well, it was a schmozzle. But alas, we are here and we are ready for some absolutely juicy matchups. Some absolutely juicy matchups. And we're going to be streaming all damn well weekend, guys. So if you're not subscribed yet, go down there and damn well hit that subscribe button. Now, recently, guys, I was going to bring out a video where I graded every single team. But I'm going to do that at the end of the season. Instead, I'm not going to do that now. We're going to wait until after the finals for that because it probably makes a little bit more sense. Don't worry, if you miss the top 8, I'll be coming for you, son. I'll be coming for you. But let's get into the video, guys, and let's start talking about our tips and predictions for week number 1 of the AFL Finals for 2020. First up, guys, we have number 1 going up against number 4. That is Port Adelaide going up against Geelong. This is a very difficult match to predict. Now, guys, just before we get in here, I am a Geelong fan, so I don't want to sit here and go Geelong, 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 Geelong without you guys understanding that I am a Geelong fan, so you do have to take that into account. However, I'm usually quite a realistic fan of my teams because most of my teams are shit, so when my teams are shit, I can tell you when my teams are shit. But this year, I don't think Geelong are shit. You know, we do have our team that we come up against, which is called Richmond, you know, Richmond, who we cannot seem to damn well beat, especially in the damn well final. But I just don't know. I don't know. I think we're alright this year. I think Geelong have done pretty well this year, and I don't know necessarily 4th represents our season. I think we could have probably represented with a 2nd or a 3rd, but not first. Port Adelaide definitely were deserving winners in 1st place. But the thing is with Port Adelaide, right, and this is the question that majority of people have, is that why do we have a question about them? Why do we have a question about them? The question that everyone has is, why do we have a question about this team? You know, they finished in 1st, so why do people still wonder? You know, if Geelong had finished 1st, I guarantee you there'd be a lot more belief there. If Richmond had finished 1st, there'd be a lot more belief there. Even if the Brisbane, maybe not the Brisbane Lions, but Collingwood finishes there, there'd be belief there. So why is it that people are still questioning Port Adelaide? Now, the reason for this, more than likely, is because of actually the game against Geelong this season. Port Adelaide won majority of their games this year, which obviously got them into the number 1 position, but one of the big games that they did lose, which actually proved them to be a little bit of a 50-50 kind of consistency side, was the game against damn Geelong, when they lost by 60 points. Now, granted, that game was at Metricon Stadium this year, not at Adelaide, and now Adelaide are obviously at home, which is a massive difference there. You know, it's a complete different aspect there with Port Adelaide at home rather than Port Adelaide at Metricon Stadium. But the point still remains is that, like, a team at number 1, are you sure they're going to win it if they did lose a game by 60 and they're about to come up against a team that was the one that beat them by 60? The Port Adelaide are fantastic, you know, they deserve where they came. However, you've also got to realise that when Geelong did play them last, they were able to really lock down on Charlie Dixon. Now, Charlie Dixon is a very pivotal part of their team. He's the guy that kicks the damn well goal. And Port Adelaide weren't able to do the same thing with Tommy Organs. So it's like, you know, who's going to kick the goals for Port Adelaide? Are you expecting Robbie Gray to go out and kick 10 damn well goals to keep up with Geelong? The thing is as well for me, right, as a Geelong fan, I was hoping we got Port Adelaide, not only because of the 60-point flogging, but also because our contrasting styles really work in favour of Geelong against Port Adelaide. It just seems like we're able to beat them because the way we play is in complete direct opposite to the way they play, and it just obviously suits us better. It's the exact same thing with Geelong playing Richmond. The contrasting styles, Richmond's play is just always going to have the advantage. Out of all the teams to me, this is the game that I wanted. This is the game. And now if we get beaten, fair enough, man. You know, if Geelong get beaten here, understandable, but I just can't see it happening. So I'm going to say Geelong by about 10 to 12 points. You know, I think Port Adelaide definitely will be a lot better than they were last time, but I also could see this being a 20 to 24 point win. Not anything like 40 plus worthy because, you know, it is in Adelaide. However, another thing you've got to take into account is the fact that if Geelong win this game, then they get a bye week before they go into the prelims. So, you know, if you obviously lose this game, you go into next week and then you play in a knockout game against, I think, 5th versus 8th, whoever won that game. And then if you won that, you go to the prelim, then you won that, you go to the grand final. But if you win this game here, then you actually have a bye week, and then the week after is when you come back out in the prelim. Now, for Geelong, this is the worst thing possible. This is the worst thing possible. I think it was 8 or 9 years up until this year in which we hadn't won after the bye. But you've also got to remember with the bye this year, it was actually midweek. So there was no real bye this year because we had, you know, we just went 2 straight weeks, and the middle week was the one where, you know, there was all these teams playing middle week. That was our bye. So there was no real bye, you know, it was just same old, same old. So I don't really buy into this Geelong they broke the hoodoo after the bye. I think genuinely we could easily lose in that prelim if we win this game and get the bye. So look, I don't really want us to win this game necessarily, but I think we do. I'm going to take us by 10 or 12 points, and See you in 2 weeks where I'm probably going to tip the opposite team. Next up, guys, we have second going up against on Friday night action. This is the Brisbane Lions going up against the Brisbane Giants. These two teams, well, actually, no, you know exactly what you're going with them. These two teams miss so much. They miss a lot. They're still able to get a lot of opportunities, which is why they win games, but they can't kick between the two posts right now. Well, these two teams really struggle to kick it damn well straight. So who damn well wins this game between two teams who can't kick it damn well straight? Now, Richmond won this earlier season matchup by 40 damn well points, but that was at Metricon, that wasn't at the Gabba, which is a bit of a different story. However, you've also got to go back and look at last year, where Brisbane got 2 home finals. People thought, you know what, they're definitely going to make at least the prelim, but they lost both games. One of them was to Richmond Monday, this team right here, and the other one was to GWS. So although it's like Brisbane should be making the prelim, it's like, can you actually completely back them in? You know, they were a fantastic team last year, and yet when they got to the finals, they kind of choked. So are they going to do that again? Are they not going to do that again? I don't know. This is a hard one to pick. It is a very hard one to pick. You kind of know what you're going to get with them. Woohoo! This is hard. This is a hard week to tip. It's a hard week to tip because every moment I go to say something, I'm like, oh, but no, Brisbane could win. And then every time I go to say, oh, no, Brisbane will win, then I'll go, oh, but Richmond could win this. I'm going to take the experience of Richmond here. I'm going to take the experience of Richmond. I really rate experience, obviously. You know, I think it's great to be young and fresh and empowered. But no, I really feel like Richmond probably have what it takes to get past this line here. With Brisbane, you know, surely they get into the prelim by taking on, I think it's between 6th and 7th, so that would be Western Bulldogs and 6th and 7th between Western Bulldogs and St Kilda, and surely they absolutely annihilate and demolish whoever one of those two teams are. And if they don't, then there's really going to be questions about this home ground advantage that people assume Brisbane have. Brisbane should be making the grand final this year. They've had a home game basically every damn well game, and yes, you could argue that Melbourne teams get it with the MCG and all that type of stuff, but it's a little bit different when one team gets their home ground advantage basically the entire season. So I'm going to take Richmond here. I'm going to take Richmond. It's a tight one. I don't know if I can back them in. They're probably favourites to win the comp right now, but in the same sense, they've also not looked exactly unreal this year. But I'll still take Richmond. Brisbane then come and play next week against whoever wins out of the other game, and I'm going to take Richmond. Very difficult game to predict, but I'm going to take Richmond despite the fact that it's the Gabba, and I'm going to take them by 16 points. I'm going to take them by 6. No, you know what? I will take it by 16 points. I'll take it by 16 points. Saturday afternoon, St Kilda versus the Western Bulldogs. Okay, well, they're here. I don't know how the Western Bulldogs got here, but they're damn well here. This is 6th versus 7th right now, guys, and really, both of them are playing on what would have been their home ground advantage anyway, so there is no home ground advantage here. But St Kilda did finish the season in 6th, Western Bulldogs did finish in 7th. I know how St Kilda got there. I don't really know how the Western Bulldogs got there. The only problem that I have with St Kilda is that, you know, they lost a lot of motivation, they lost a lot of focus, and they lost a lot of belief in themselves after that 60-point loss to Geelong. Yes, because Geelong have been the big time winners of a couple of games of these 2 top 8 teams this year. But that's the only worry I have for them. They really fell off their wagon. You know, they were playing really good attacking football for the majority of the season up until that. Actually, the whole season up until that. People were talking about them potentially making the grand final. But then as soon as that Geelong game hit, whack, right across the buddy, right here, right across the buddy jaw, just whack. And how have they come back from it? No, they haven't come back from it, and that's my worry. Like they've still won games, but it's just not been convincing. It's not been as fluid as it was originally. The Western Bulldogs, on the other hand, how the hell are they here? You know, what are they doing here? Like, you sure this is the right place? Western Bulldogs, sure this is the right damn. But I don't know how you got here, mate. The thing that would represent the Western Bulldogs perfectly this year is they were up by 36 points against Geelong. Geelong are back again. They were up against Geelong by 36 points, or 37 points, going into the first quarter, and they lost. And that kind of tells me everything I need to know about the Western Bulldogs. Like, they can be up by a significant margin and still not be able to win that game. And I just feel like St Kilda are a lot more faster. I just feel like they're a lot better. I feel like St Kilda is just simply better. So, and this is a knockout game, guys. So if the Western Bulldogs do lose this, which I am tipping, I am taking St Kilda. I'm taking St Kilda. But if the Western Bulldogs do lose this, they're out. But I'm going to take St Kilda, and I'm actually going to take St Kilda by about 24 points. I'm going to take it by a decent margin. I think St Kilda are the better team here. And I feel like they could actually even wallop them. I wouldn't be surprised if St Kilda used their fast-paced, you know, boom, 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 boom style to just bang it up. And Western Bulldogs are too inconsistent for me. They limped into the finals, and There you go. Well, they had their last game of the season was what got them into the finals. That was against Freo. So, you know, nothing convincing there. So yeah, I'm taking St Kilda, and I'm going to take it by a decent enough margin of 20 to 25 points. West Coast Eagles and Collingwood. West Coast finish in 5th place. They get a home final over there at Optus. Collingwood finish in 8th place, and yeah, I don't know if they would be liking this one. I don't know if they'd be liking this one. I've been saying this all year throughout all my videos and streams that West Coast to me probably win the competition if the grand final was over at Optus and if they had the home final advantage all the way through. So I think West Coast probably win if it's at Optus because I feel like their home ground advantage is just too big to kind of overtake. But in the same sense, it's not at Optus, and I feel like they're one of the worst teams I've ever seen away from home. Like truly, they aren't great away from home, and it was really pivotal this season where you could see it in multiple games where if they weren't at Optus, you shouldn't be backing them. But this game is at Optus, so we're going to talk about this one. But Collingwood, on the other hand, you know, I think you already know who I'm going to tip from that though. But Collingwood, on the other hand, I actually tipped them to win the comp. You know, I tipped them to win the comp at the beginning of the year. This was before the whole pandemic hit. You know, everything kind of going into this season, I genuinely thought Collingwood was going to win this comp and they were going to go up against Richmond in the grand final. Richmond have done their part to show they're probably going to make the grand final, but Collingwood, you know, they limped into the finals in general. They hit the 8th. You can't get any lower than 8th and make the finals. But I'm going to take West Coast here, guys. I'm going to take West Coast. I'm actually going to take them close still. I'm going to take them by 9 points. I think it'll be a close-ish game. West Coast could actually win this game by about 100. They really could. I think they won by like, what, 60 or 50 points the last time they played it? I think so. I think it could even be more. It could even. Actually, I'm going to check this. I'm going to check this right now. It could even be more. When they played last time, it was a significant margin. It was a significant margin. Hold on. History 111.45. There you go. So, a bit bigger than, well, what is it? What, 66 points? Holy damn. 66 points they beat them by last time. Could easily be a huge blowout here. This could be easily a huge blowout here. But I think Collingwood's going to have enough that knowing that this is a knockout game, that they're going to be able to keep in touch. They'll keep in touch, but I just think West Coast will be too good here. But that's going to be my tips for the AFL in week number 1. NRL tips will come out tomorrow, guys, for the finals there. You know, it's going to be tight in both of them. It's going to be tight in both of them. But this is the finals, guys. You know, it's so 50-50. Like, literally, knockout games, finals games, playoffs games, they're all so 50-50 because it's a completely different ball game. It's a completely different ball game. You can't just go into them thinking I came first in the season, so I'm going to win the whole thing. It's just not like that. And I'm just telling you that you know you can have all the wins you want, but you know when you get to finals, it's completely reset. The whole comp is reset. But that's going to do us for today's damn well video, baby. So go and smack that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new here, guys. We do sport every single damn well day, whether it be rugby league or AFL or Premier League or baseball or NFL. You know, we're always smashing out content, whether it be live streams or videos. So definitely subscribe if you're new around here. I'll see you guys in my streams, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later. Go Geelong.